Hello everyone, I'm Palpatine001 aka the Senate, and we are back with City Skylines 2 Post Bridges and Ports DLC along with the patch, along with all my required mods updated, and the city hasn't bombed. After the game's own version of Citizen Entity Cleaner and the Citizen Entity Cleaner did its thing, we are off. If we look at our demand meter, office and industrial is on its way. And we've actually, and this is going to happen for a while, we are going to have quite a bit of low density residential demand with a bit of medium backing it up. I'll cover that briefly why in a minute. And as you can see, high resource costs as we try and rebalance the industry out, and I'm also more likely to That's fun. Who was I subsidizing? They can be put back up now because it's rebalanced out, and I'll tell you what's been going on with this in a minute. That should have rebalanced as well. I think it was the only one that needed to be done. And the rest is all off. At the moment, there's going to be a lot of rebalancing because they've rejigged the system. As you can see, and I'm going to have to work through this. This will be probably done off screen, or be done in another video, because at the moment we are focusing on getting the port back online, and also. Yeah, I know why that is. So we've got a bit of rebalancing to do to get the budget back into line, but I'm just going to wonder if it's going to pick up on the other side. If not, well then it's a case of up go the taxes ever so slightly. Office demand is still very high at the moment. I have a suspicion that's because we're a nighttime activity. Anyway, distractions. A lot of rebalancing still needs to be done. This is going to sit up for a while. Oh, and with that done, we've got the Netherlands content pack actually now working, which is actually on the island. Oh, and one other location. You can see the Gambro housing there, the Low Gable housing there, and then repeated the other side. I drop down to this end. Some of the medium density getting off the ground. I think that's the UK side at the moment. I don't think I've got... the row housing going yet, and I don't think I've got the low rent going yet. If I just remember where, I can hear a ship. Yep. Yep, because it's the current shipping route. Let me just see where I put. It's all Eastern European. Medium density, so that's all coming along fine. Oh, we do have the medium density row housing coming up. Oh, yeah? Yep, okay, so that's what they look like there. Yep, okay. Compared to their other cousins. Sweet, so we do have that coming along. That just leaves... low density, UK mixed. Yeah, where did I put it? Yeah, it's gone for a walk, so let me just... Oh, it's in here. It is. Don't think it's under construction yet. There's no demand for it at the moment. So that's the Netherlands content pack also online, and I do also have swag of it over here mixed with the UK. So that stuff was mixed with the UK and Eastern European. This is mixed with the UK, so you can see the UK semi-detached, UK detached, EU. Oh, also US. It's a replica over, and then you can see the much smaller Netherlands housing going in. So if I was to do this properly, switch that over. Actually, switch that. They should pick up a little bit later on, as you can see, like, I think it was the French and German packs, they're smaller lots, so you have these big interior cores. Now, knowing that, and there's a helicopter buzzing in my ear, knowing that we can get the lots to be done smaller, to allow more indents, more dense fill, or you can go for the green utility and have it as interior spaces, and then just backfill it in. So nothing major. Right, that will take a long time, and that's going to bung my traffic. Also, I had to wait for the traffic lights enhancement one to come back on, otherwise my intersections are stuck. And had to wait for the depot capacity mod to return, because while my buses were fine, all my when this is only doing 15 trains, and I'm quite heavily reliant on my rail-based transport to move things around, 1, 2, 3, yeah, need to extend that out a bit. So we've also got a case of just the trains just resetting themselves too, because I also rely quite heavily on my cargo trains. I don't think there's anyone in the fishing, and I'm just wondering if that's going to bug out, or we just simply just don't have the industry at the moment, because even if I go here, we've got 300,000 jobs to backfill, so that is going to be quite a while. But that's fine, it just means lots of residential we can focus at the lower end. Now before we cut into Marsden Point, which is basically shifting this fella over to the over here to the new port series, and I'll take it back into daytime mode to do it. One more thing on what they've done. So you've seen the economic side, which has absolutely poked my taxes around to the point I might take that back off. going to require restarting of the game. That's fine, I'll pick it up in the next one. In fact, I might do it immediately because this is just going to cause an absolute mayhem on the system. So, just excuse me for 1 second. Well, we're back. Not that it trimmed off 10,000. So the work, vanilla and the realistic work and home is actually pretty spot on. Although it has dropped the deficit down by half. That's fine. I'll look at the deficit a little bit later because it's probably still the economy trying to get back into shape. So we'll, as I said, a lot of stuff to cover off screen, on screen as the city rebalances itself out. The good news is the city didn't exactly fall off a cliff. And this always goes down and up as it rebalances. So obviously the game's own entity cleaner works. No, it's not enough for me to worry about. The game does that automatically. It calls the up down and then it gets going again. And they'll move in the time. Now, the reason why you're going to get the biggest is a run on your low density with some medium on the side, and your high might take a plunge off the cliff, especially if you've gone for quite a bit of high density, and we need to have words with colossal order on their language. But what you're going to have in short and plain terms is you're going to have a bit of white flight, especially if you've got high density around you, things like your city centres and metropolitan centres, which is what I do. And that being is that your so-called more well-off demographics leave the higher density stuff behind traditionally and head out to the suburbs where there is lower density. So the rich, trademark, come out of the city centre areas, high density areas, into the lower density areas out in the sticks, leaving your so-called working class behind. Now that's a bit of a, well, it is and it isn't a language problem. White flight, and it was very common post-war across the West as the well-off left the city centres, and you had the risk of your downtowns becoming ghettos for a while, and then you had gentrification when your well-off started coming back in, which is what they are doing at the moment, as they realise, oh, high density might be good after all if I don't want to be stuck with a 2-hour commute a day, if I'm lucky at that itself. So just need to have a word with Colossal on the rich and the poor's trademark. It's basically it's technically white flight and gentrification happening. White flight, they come out; gentrification, they go back in. And of course, with that social mobility, everyone else gets upset, and there goes low density demand off the thing. Probably because it needs to still continue. Because it still needs to continue to balance out, which is always going to be the case. Basically, I just reset the settings, so we're back to where we were. Right. So with that, yeah. So the terms are white flight. That is that is those that are have higher wealth demographics and are typically more socially mobile. Come out from your high density areas, often around your centres, out into the sticks, leaving your working class behind. And then you have your gentrification, when you're well off that went down in the burbs, realise that your commutes weren't worth it, come back in, forcing your working class out into the sticks and suffering those commutes as a result. So yeah, that would be the better terms, although they're still loaded within of themselves. But we're not here to have a geography lesson in and of itself. Woohoo, there goes the traffic. And that's going to continue to happen as the city restabilizes. We are here to build a port using the port DLC, Marsden Point, to replace this one. So let's get to it, shall we? And do what this video is actually about 15 minutes in, building the Marsden Point cargo port. The passenger terminal, given there's not much options for passenger terminals with the port set, is likely just to use the vanilla asset there. Right, first things first, we go here. We'll switch over to dayside because I'm as blind as a bat. No, seriously. Reactivate and whoa! Sunglasses or nuclear goggles, everyone. Okay, just do a quick check to make sure they haven't fluffed up my... No, that's perfectly fine. I just need to go and find a tram depot. That's fine. And train depot. Ah! They've mucked that up again. Oh, so I need to go back in. Actually leave that and they'll restabilize in a minute. Okay. Let's make sure we're okay here. Yep, nothing should be returning. Oh, we're gonna have a whole lot returning and then a whole lot going back out. That's finicky as anything, this one. Let's check the bus depot. I'm not too worried about taxi depots. Yeah, they're fine. Okay, they'll do it. They'll just switch around again. Alrighty. So, in the previous video, I had set up. So we've got the highway, 4-lane highway. We've got the railway ready to go. So the highway connects back to the bridge, which connects back to the motorway. That's an urban renewal project for now, much later. We also have a highway here, and then eventually we will have another highway extending out here and connecting somewhere over here. Somewhere. Oh, no, connecting here. Oh, look at all that industrial traffic. Go. This will... now, the good thing about the ports DRC is you can do inland ports, so this is going to become an inland port. And I'll probably build a few others. And as it says, we've also got the railway line. So you can come down here, although you are more likely to come down here to bypass and go on its way. There is a passenger service that runs there, but there isn't a cargo service yet. In fact, no, you can't do cargo at all because the way it goes straight out. So with the inland port, we should be able to go... in fact, if anything, the inland port could get... No, it won't get moved. Because it's both directions, that's going to be a little bit fun on how I deal... Because I've put an oil field in there. Oops. Might just have to bend it round a bit. And send it back out. As I said, there's more than one way to so-called skin the cat. Ticking along tickety-boo all nicely. And also I've got the water and storage ready to go. Now, in due time, we will get another bridge connection, because this port will disappear, but we will get another bridge connection over to connect up to here, so the industry is not having to do a very long, circassious route. And the rail will be rail as well, and I believe we have one available. Could actually be, excuse me. I've got to now remember where it was. Ah, might be. Won't be a suspension bridge. It will be a no, it could be. Yeah, although there was a unique bridge. Could be the 6-laner, actually. Yeah. Could do a Golden Gate Bridge with tracks running underneath it. So he would go somewhere all the way over there, so you're not interfering with the shipping lines, although that's going to make very interesting trying to get back down. But that's for another day. To be all honesty, before we even get going. So yeah, it will be technically future-proofed for... oh, we've got ferries too. So we'll definitely come back to ferries. This will be interesting to see if this holds up. Or if I'm going to need to narrow the port stuff out. So we've got shipping. The emergency surge out full. Got the utilities all set up. In due time, we will build another bridge out. And that is likely... yeah, that would just be a straight out interchange. The railway can also run underneath it too, so we do have the bridges available there to do it. It's going to be interesting if I do need more room. It's called reclamation. We just reclaim out that way. Everyone's happy, and let's get to it. I just need to do one more thing. That's perfectly fine. And I think they're all going back out. Yeah, no problem. Easy peasy 101. Don't toss me with your settings when you know it's right the first time. Alright then, game is on pause. Let's get going. If I can remember how to do this, I did watch a tutorial, but me remembering stuff is another matter altogether, which is a bit bad being a planner. But then again, this is why you also have manuals. Yay. So the first thing we're going to do is, I think the first thing we ought to do, so we'll do Marsden Point, and then we'll look at the passenger, and then at the same time look at the ferries, because this is set up for ferries, although the elevations to this map are soddingly high. That could be me needing to demolish and redo it, or there is about, I know some industries were like that and they take ages to get off the deck, but fishing's not why I'm here. If I want that, that's Pacifica City and CS1. Right. Chit chat over. Let's get going, and we're going to go straight in with, now, one of the assets. And see, the problem is this is not all neatly sorted either. That helps, that helps. Yeah, that's all so this is where I should take notes. Small port, large port. Woohoo. Let's get going. Okay, good. That's not going to interfere with the railway line. So we'll establish this here, because this is going to be the main port. Now, I've got the unlock mode on, so everything is unlocked. So I'm not having to wait for milestones, even if so. The city's over Megapolis limits anyway, so this is retrofitting back into an existing city, which makes it more fun than starting a new city. I do have a map for that, and that will be another series in of its own right. Okay, let's go. Just to leave enough, actually, we'll push this down quite hard. Don't worry about the railway. Okay, so we've got the big one in, which is looking good. Is that 3 in, 3 out? It is. This would work. Not only would this work for the inland port, this would also work well for. This actually sets up for toll gates when they decide to introduce tolling. If you want to play border control on the borders of your map. If you want to do that, that would work very well here as well. So the foundations are set up once we get the assets going. So if you want to set up border control, tolls, if you want to toll, ooh, tolling would be a good idea. Ha ha ha, look at all that freight. I'll be leaving the game running again. Oh, yeah, alright. So it sets up stuff within itself. Now the next thing I want is, sorry, clicky, clickety, click, click. It might be a rail function. Oh, of course excellent. I think it was the key walls with ferries that went a little bit paired, but that's okay. Rail. Oh wait, that is trains, isn't it? Yep. This is what I mean. This is why I have manuals as a planner, because the amount of information that circulates through your head is something awful. No. Okay. Because they all sit in here. That's right, it all sits under the one, so that's the sub-menu. Intermodal. Now, is that a two-way? Yes, it is. So that is gonna. So this is how you do inland ports. In my home city of Auckland, we've got 2. This is going to work absolutely wonders for replacing it up here. Oh, I can push that right back too, so I can actually bend that round. Yeah, I'm scrolling here, but inland ports are interesting. It means, can I drop one? Don't technically need to drop one in here because this is a one-way in and out anyway. So, no need, unless I want to do a bit more realism on how to do it. But the cargo terminal here is perfectly fine. Can easily drop another cargo terminal down here. And definitely, because of the industry, once I get my bearings, because this industry is remaining, can definitely get another cargo terminal in here somewhere. And that acts as a cargo terminal in its own right. And we could technically get a through. See, I can't bend it round, but I can put one in here. Although that said, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be an interesting incline to handle. So we're gonna need to come out, up and over, and then drill down. This is, and then there's the big bridge that's designed to connect to here as well as out to here. So it has allowed for maximum utilization. So you've done well, Colossal Water, I'll give you that much. And the setup for the future is looking equally as good as well. There's the auxiliary, which technically wouldn't be needed here unless we did reclamation and I opened up another route here. Technically, we could do a roundabout sufficient. It doesn't need a full-blown interchange. If it does, then it can be done in due time, because you would actually technically struggle. So you would drop a big bastard of a roundabout. Yeah, you drop it here, bring it over, so your road would actually come up and over. You don't need it to bend right, and then you have your second bridge going out the other way. So I was gonna say, lots of energy. You just chisel all this out to do more reclamation there. So back to this, right? Rail terminal. Which side is the road on? Other side. No, it's on the side. Even better. Okay, so that works quite wonderful, as it got lots of room to move if I need to. Interesting, the road is on that side, not the other side. Huh. Oh well, we'll place this down. It's implying your storage is on the other side. That's a bit of an interesting wonk. I will just connect the rail up quickly so I don't pickle myself. Is that a double? Yep, good stuff. Colossal. Make sure that is on. Now where is that rail? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, perfection. I should have this on. Excellent. I'll road that up in a minute. Now that is that 3 in, 3 out? I was going to say, when you do your first one, it's always a bit wonky. Actually, it technically carries the name. Technically carries that name. No. I think it's 3 in, 3 out. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You can highway it. That's going to give away my lane count. No, is that 4? 4 in, 4 out. It is 2. Okay, well that gets a bit interesting. Right, just one moment. You technically can't service that with a highway, that would be nuts. So... yeah. You're looking at 4 lanes in and out. Although that said, curiosity now has me intrigued. Ah. But it won't pick it up on a that's an interesting one. Well, that's interesting to know. So you're going to come screaming down the highway at full speed into the gates. Yee. That's not a good look. Noted, though. Okay. Yeah, as I said, that makes it a little bit interesting coming in. I do have a 6-laner. Ooh, that's going to be a bit interesting. I've got to know. That's okay, that's fine for now. Technically, we do need an auxiliary road. why are you having a prissy? Okay, let's get the roundabout out of here first. So we're going to have a bit of a prissy over this. Oh, is that? No, that's the because I've got demolish on. Oh, you're really going to have a bit of a prissy. Okay, that's fine. Let's bring that right up to here. Get that roundabout in. So you're going to do that on me, so... Okay, so we've connected the port up in that angle. Okay, and the reason why I need that auxiliary road is otherwise there's no way I can get the power and water in here. Well, I can, but at the same time can't. Ha! I just did it as a one-way road. Whoops. This also serves as a good slowdown too. Oh, I should have this on. This is me being... So let's get the utilities connected up. And I think that's just picked it up. Yes, it has. So we've got power. We've got water, to which I'll just connect that in. Now I'll connect the rest of that up in a minute. So we've got the power and water over. We're done. Okay. No. Sorry. I'm just curiosity if that's asking me to. It is too. Okay, so you probably do that as a huh. I have an idea why I was having a bit of a sookie, because because it's not connected up yet. Okay. Now this is just me testing things out. Ah, yeah. Whoops. Yeah, those are gate roads, and these are your normal port roads. So what we do is we extend that for the main guts of it. Okay, and then we go for the there we go. Okay, now I am actually going to extend this out. So we will quickly do this, because this side will handle dry, this side will handle wet, if not bulk. Dry bulk and wet bulk containers in general. So we'll take him. Oops. This is very deep water, and we'll then sink. There we go, it's done that. Okay, which means now we swing back over. These are the keys, aren't they? Yep. So now we're establishing the key fronts. And that will need some leveling out. Okay, that's our first. So that will obviously need it's interesting. That's... And we'll repeat this side. This will be it. Because technically you don't want curved if you can avoid it. That's interesting. Am I going to have to raise those up to bring them level? We'll soon see in a minute. Ooh, okay. So we could be doing a bit of leveling. Could also be doing a bit of resetting as well. Oops. The land was actually quite low. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to... Whoops. I'll deal with that in a minute. That could require one big full reset. Although not. Next time do the keys first, because this is... Although not necessarily if you do it right. We'll see how much of an incline that is to pick up. I will come back across those in a minute. Yeah, this is the only problem. This map, because it has such steep inclines in it, it makes it quite hard to get your port infrastructure set up properly. Okay, we'll shoot back over. Oh, okay, that's gonna insist on doing that. Right, one moment. Okay, corrected. Now, it'll be interesting to see what these roads jump up to. Consequently. Nope, yes. Ooh, very... No, not the worst I've ever seen. Okay. And the railway would be technically the same as well. Which is interesting because it's actually created a bit of a... Huh. Medium barrier, anyone? Alright, let's basically set that up. Now on to the next part. Right, I'm just going to pop off for a minute because I'll finish this and then we'll come back to it. Right, after all that, we have basically got... Whoop, forget the flickering for a minute. We're actually probably going into daytime. Yeah, sun's rising. Perfect! As the sun comes to rise, we have our new port up and going. It's not finished yet. I haven't done the detailing yet, and we've got some flooding after I had to move the quay walls around, which I need the sun to go and clear off. I don't have the tank trucks, the pump trucks like I do in CS2. And here come your first ships into the port. So I have the decals. I just pulled them down quickly as well, so we can definitely go into good old-fashioned... Almost, I've got to remove the trees as well. Into detailing this all out, so it actually looks like a port. And rather than a huge big grass lot at the moment, which doesn't quite look right. Metal plates, bricks. Yeah, I don't do those. And then we've got all the decals that can sit over the top as well, which means you can basically spend a lot of time here going, yay, and get yourself absolutely frustrated. See, dirt, ports concrete. So we could have an absolute blast. There we go. We've just dropped our first shipment. There goes the stacker. Going to probably drop it off, and then it'll wait for the trucks to come around once they get their backsides down the highway. Now I have set up the reset the cargo routes because we have brought offline. And they will come. We have brought offline the old port, which will now get redone, and we are still to bring a bridge over to get that going, to link that up, because at the moment to get to the city centre you have to do a very circuitous loop there and back. Taranaki I have to do the inland port, which I'll do a series on to get that going as well. We've got shipping coming round. It is all cooking with gas. And we've just got some industry here which we can build out. So they should be... Oh! Oh, there you go. There goes the stacker. He's going to go into the container terminal. So that's looking good. Once the flooding has disappeared, I will get some more warehousing in. As flooding's nearly gone here, so I can get the next big bulk stacker. Tank farm there, and the asset creators can have fun with this. So the port has got a lot of room for extensions. So it doesn't show it, but the way it would run is this is container in general. That being in general, This side would be your bulk, that being wet and dry, and then I've got extensions here on the other side to do so in due time. Now, is it going to let me? Oh, and we've got the auxiliary gate set up. It's not operational at the moment, but what will happen is the highway will come up and under and out, and then connect, and then bend it like Beckham, come out and over and connect into here. The railway line, don't actually technically need, well, I could do a railway line. So yeah, I would bring the line up and around, and it'll connect out, connect into here, and that's directly going into the city centre, rather than doing the big, huge, staccacious loop it has to do at the moment. Now, as always, let's do some obligatory photos. So we're nowhere finished this, but I'll do the detailing off screen, and once everything settles down, I will build that second highway off screen. Here we go. Look at that, city centre in the back. So it's all go, 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 go. There's a highway connection. And the rail connection. Oh dear. Oh, very dear. Oh, Colossal Order, you've done it again. Tell me what the problem is, folks. This is set for right-hand traffic, not left-hand traffic. No wonder why the roads weren't setting up properly. Oh, they've been told not to do this. Oh, that is a huge glaring bug. And it also becomes a heck of a pet peeve on the way out. So I'll just grab these. These are not set up for left-hand traffic. So that is no wonder why I couldn't get the 4-lane roads from oh, there goes a car. Going home. No wonder why I couldn't get these linked up properly. Alright, I'll put in a ticket for that, because they did it to a bus. They do it to a lot of the assets, and it requires a mod to flip them round. So never mind. We'll get that sorted, and hopefully I can get a sodding hot fix out for that as soon as possible, because that is, it really does the, oh look, there it goes, there he goes. Is he carrying general, is he? Yep. So we're all go, go, go. Yeah, get that flipped over. Oh, what a pain. After all that, you get that. Ah! Is that going to let me put in that second bulk yard? Oh, this becomes a little bit... Yes, it will let me put it in, but it's actually going to be the wrong way around. Oh, he's still picking up the water. It was so slightly there. Okay, we've got to wait for the flooding to run out. That's okay. Well, that's where we have it. Apart from that one glaring bug I just picked up. We've got the basics of the port away, and the cargo's already working. Somebody's already got... Oh, we've got our first truck. Is he dispatching out, is he? Yep. Carrying timber. Interesting, given I actually have a surplus of it. Meantime, we are waiting for that to catch back up, which is always... And I think a bug's returned as well. We've got the depots back. See, low density's created out again. We're still trying to balance this out. I'm not going to tussle with those. The slider is so sensitive to that. Until Colossal actually bring it back up to what the proper one is and I can delete the mod, unfortunately that one has to stay. Okay, you just get a little bit of unrealism in there, which is a bit of a pet peeve. Let me check that city centre bus depot and the tram depot. Yeah, so that's fine. I think all my rail-based transport is back online. Yeah. Alrighty then. And I doubt it. That could be a bug that's just not having that going at all. Could be a case I need to demolish it and get it reset, but there's no industry demand at the moment either. Oh, I was right in my ear. Well, we've got the cargo. There you go. He's carrying fish and beverages. It's because you silly sods won't go fishing. Never mind, I'll get a fishing industry, a simple fishing industry set up. And then we also get some detailing done as well, because that sorely needs it. For once, I actually have to do some actual detailing. Meanwhile, I believe these guys are filling up the residential, all the Netherlands content. It's all there, we've just got to get them to switch over. But that can take time in of itself. And I believe they have filled, sorry for the vertigo for anyone who suffers it. Well, they've all come along nicely. Yeah, well, they'll get there. As I said, the big cities take ages to retrofit over. Alrighty then. We'll leave it for here. I am going to do some decaying while I wait for the flooding to eventually disappear. We do have cargo going. Yep, here they come. Coming in for pickup. Yeah, he's already delivered his first round. And he's going out. Got anyone else leaving? If not, I'm going to go and follow him up. In the meantime, I am Palpatine 001 OK the Senate. This has been Manukau Ranges, City Skylines 2 with the Bridges and Ports DLC. I will continue doing some work in the background. We will come back in the next part once I redo the series because it's all changed. And we will look at retrofitting that old area that's no longer the port. In the meantime, fish safe.